There's some slides on this topic. If you go to my website, bridgeclass.co.uk, and click down here on bidding, there's a link to this table on negative doubles. There's a one-page summary of it, but we're going to go through the topic today. And we're going to talk about what's called negative or Sputnik doubles. And just before we get on to that, I just want to remind you about normal takeout doubles. And a normal takeout double is when your opponent opens a bidding with one of a suit, and a double by you is for takeout and shows the 3 unbid suits. It shows about 12 plus points and asks your partner to bid their best suit. So, for example, this hand here, if North opens 1 diamond, this is pretty much a perfect hand for a takeout double, a normal takeout double. It shows the 3 unbid suits and something like 12 or more points. So here you want your partner to bid one of the majors, so you double and hope your partner will have 4 cards in one of those. Or otherwise they might bid clubs. That would be your sort of second choice. And although you've only got 3 clubs, you've got reasonable clubs. So if they do bid that, hopefully you'll find a fit there. You can also make a normal takeout double in other situations. And another very common one will be with the same hand here. If South has opened the bidding with 1 club and North responds 1 diamond, you could again double to show the 2 unbid suits and something like 12 points to show both majors in that case. So that is the idea of the normal double. But what I want to talk about is the negative, or the Sputnik double, as it is sometimes known. And it was called the Sputnik double because it came around the same time as the Sputnik satellite. But the basic idea is that when your partner opens a bidding with one of a suit and an opponent makes a suit overcall, a double by you is used to show the 2 unbid suits. And in particular, it's to show at least 4 cards in any unbid major. And it's known as a negative or Sputnik double. Now, because your partner has already bid here, you don't need so many points to make this bid. In fact, generally the point count requirement depends on the level that your partner will be required to bid, either to support your suit or to bid their own suit again. So we're going to look at examples where your partner could bid at the 1 level. So that means your negative double shows at least 6 points. If they have to bid at the 2 level, it should show at least 8 points. And at the 3 level, it should show at least 10 points. By the way, these exact point ranges are not absolutely universal, although I think everyone would agree that the higher your partner has to bid, the stronger you should be for your negative double. And there is no upper limit for these negative doubles. So we're going to look at some examples of all of these. So here's a simple example where West, your partner, has opened 1 club. North bids 1 diamond as an overcall. And here, that gives you an opportunity to make a negative double to show the 2 unbid suits, to show in this case, both majors and at least 6 points. And that is preferable here to just bidding, say, 1 heart, because you're able to get 2 suits in 1 bid. So the overcall by North has given you a chance to now show both majors, which is not something you could do if they had just passed. Or you could make, and because your partner will be able to bid at the 1 level, it doesn't show any more than 6 points. Or it could be something like this, where West, your partner, has opened 1 diamond, there's a 2 club overcall, and again, you can double here to show both majors. And here, because your partner will have to bid at the 2 level, this should be showing at least 8 points. But again, that's a good bid there because it gets both majors into the bidding. Do stop me if you have any questions about any of this.
Tony, what if partner doesn't have hardly anything in any of the majors?
We'll have a look at some examples of this in a moment, okay?
Okay.
Let's have a look at another example here, where here it's gone one diamond, one heart. And you might think you can just bid one spade here, which you could, but a double is now available to show exactly 4 cards in any unbid major. You also have 4 clubs here, but a double here should suggest you just have 4 spades. Whereas if I change a hand slightly and give myself another spade, now I would bid 1 spade with this hand rather than the double. And if the double would have been available to show a 4-card suit, now 1 spade should generally show a 5-card suit. So failure to make a negative double here and just bid 1 spade, when if you'd had a 4-card suit, you could have made a negative double, allows you to differentiate between a 4-card and a 5-card suit. And that can be very valuable too. Here's another example. Here it's gone 1 diamond, 1 spade, and here I can double here. I've only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 points here, and I've got 4 hearts and 4 clubs, so I can double here, and that should definitely show at least 8 points with a 4-card heart suit. On the other hand, if I change the hand slightly and give myself a 5-card suit, now instead of making a negative double, I can bid 2 hearts. And because a double was available to show a 4-card suit, 2 hearts should here show a 5-card suit. Also, because I'm bidding a new suit at the 2 level, it should show more like 10 points. So very sort of subtle differences in what you bid here, and each bid will show something slightly different. So here's the example where they overcall at the 2 level, and here you've got both minors, and you might think you'll just bid 3 diamonds there perhaps, but a better bid, which gets both suits into the bidding, is a double there. And because your partner now will be required to bid at the 3 level to support one of your suits, this double should show at least 10 points and both minors. So we're going to look at a few questions here, and these are going to be looking at how you respond to a negative double. So these are coming up in the form of some poll questions here. So let's have a look at the first one. Here you open 1 diamond, you're a minimum hand there, and there's a 1 spade overcall and East doubles. And I'd like you to think about the first part of the question. What does East's double show? And in this case, it should be showing 4 hearts and at least 8 points. So I'm going to launch a poll in a moment for the second part of the question here, is what do you think where should bid now? So have a little think about it, and in a moment I'm going to launch a poll, and the question is, what do you think where should bid now? Give you a moment to think about it. Okay, let me share the results with you there. And most of you have gone for 2 hearts there, 64%. 32% went for 3 hearts, and 1 person said pass. So let's shift back to this. Well, my partner should have 4 hearts there, so I'm going to support the hearts, and I have a minimum hand here. It's only 11 points. It's a minimum in terms of losers as well. I think I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 losers. So I'm just going to bid 2 hearts here. Yes, I agree with most of you. 2 hearts seems to be the right bid there. And yeah, don't think about bidding your own suit again, bidding 2 diamonds or under the bid. You're a bit too weak for 3 hearts. That would show a slightly stronger hand. That your part just bid 2 hearts, and your partner can invite game or bid game if they have a strong enough hand. You definitely shouldn't pass the one spade here. That would be converting your partner's negative double to penalty, and the opponents might end up playing that in one spade doubled, which probably would do very badly from your point of view. Do let me know if you have any questions about that. Here's the second one coming up now. This time you open a club. There's a one spade overcall. East, your partner doubles. That's a negative double, and it comes back to you. And this perhaps will answer the question that someone asked earlier: what do you do if you can't support your partner's hearts? What will you bid? So have a little think about this, and think about what does East double show, and then think about what should West bid now. Let me share the results with you. So the vast majority here have gone for 2 clubs, which I agree with. A smaller number going for other bids like 2 no trump, 3 clubs, 1 no trump, or 2 hearts. So let's switch back to the screen and see what we think. Well, you have again a minimum hand here. You've got, I think, 12 points in high cards, and your partner's showing the unbid suits, in particular hearts, 4 hearts, but you really shouldn't support them with only 3 cards. So you've got to find some other bid. I don't really like bidding no trump. If I did bid, say, 1 no trump on this hand, that would be showing like a hand where I've got something like 15 or 16 points. In other words, if I had a balanced hand with 15 or 16 points, I might bid 1 club, and then if my partner bids 1 of a suit, rebid 1 no trump. But I'm too weak for that here, so I don't really like rebidding 1 no trump. 2 no trump is even worse. And I don't think I should support the heart with only 3 cards. My partner's indicating they have a 4-card suit. And so I think, yes, I will bid 2 clubs on this hand. This should be that should be a minimum hand, and you should just bid 2 clubs on that hand. I agree with the majority of you on that one. Any comments or questions on that? So it's a bit like you opened 1 club on this hand, and if North hadn't bid and East had bid 1 of a suit, you would probably just rebid 2 clubs here. That shows a minimum hand, 12 to 15 points, with at least a 5-card club suit.
Tony, I missed when would a double show 6 points?
So on both of these examples, it shows 8 points or more, because you will be required to bid at the 2 level to support your partner's hearts. If you can rebid at the 1 level, and there is an example of that coming up, then it shows just 6 points. Let's have a look at this one. Here you open a diamond. There's a 1 spade overcall, and your partner bids 2 hearts. So think about, what does East's 2 hearts show in terms of points and in terms of number of hearts? And the question is, what should West bid now? Let me share the results with you. And most of you here have gone for 4 hearts, 75%, with a small number saying 3 hearts, and a few people going for some of the other options. So let's switch back. Well, the important thing here is, what does that 2 heart show? And once you've agreed to play negative doubles, the 2 heart bid here should show a 5-card suit. Because a double was available to show a 4-card suit, 2 hearts should show 5 or more hearts, and because you're bidding a new suit at the 2 level, 10 or more points. And on this hand, I think you've got 16 points and you have a heart fit. So you should bid 4 hearts here. Yes, I agree with that. 3 hearts would be my second choice there, but you're too strong for 3 hearts. 3 hearts should show a minimum hand with 3-card heart support, and your partner could pass that once you're not committed to game. But with more like 16 points, you should go to 4 hearts on this hand. And finally, let's have a look at this one here, where you open 1 club. There's a 1 diamond overcall, and East, your partner, makes a negative double there. So what does that show in terms of distribution and in terms of points? And what do you think where should bid now? Have a little think about it, and I will launch a poll about your rebid. Let me share the results with you. And majority here have gone for 3 hearts, 44%. A smaller number went for 4 hearts, and some went for 2 hearts, and 1 person went for 1 heart. So let's have a look at this. And so if we think about what that double shows, it should show 4 cards in each major. So you shouldn't double there unless you have both majors. And because your partner will be able to bid at the 1 level, this is an example of a hand someone was asking me earlier where it only shows 6 points. Yes, it only shows 6 points. And you are now going to support your partner's hearts. So we're going to bid a number of hearts here. And if we think about it, if we count our points, we've got, I think, 17 points. Okay, so we're definitely more than a minimum. If we were an absolute minimum, you could bid 1 heart. But if you've got 17 points and your partner's got 6 or more points, we can either make a sort of mild invitation by bidding 2 hearts, or if we think we've got enough again, we bid 4 hearts. But I think with 17, with your partner showing 6, I think we would probably bid 3 hearts. I think 3 hearts is about right. Your judgment may differ, but 3 hearts I would take as a fairly strong invitation to 4 hearts, and I think that that's what this hand is suitable for. Okay, 2 hearts, could work out well. And obviously you might go straight to 4 hearts, but that might struggle if your partner is an absolute minimum for their double. Any comments or questions on that? So that's an example of a where the double shows both majors, and you can support your partner's major. By the way, I just wanted to mention, if I go back to this if I go back to this very first hand here, I meant to mention that in this example and in the other examples, that if you open 1 diamond here and your partner bids a spade, and then your partner doubles the 1 spade overcall, when you bid 2 hearts now, that doesn't count as a reverse bid, because it's, if you like, you're supporting your partner's heart. So you're not really bidding your own new suit above the 2 level of the first suit. You're supporting your partner's heart. So this 2 heart bid, sometimes people think that's like a reverse bid, but it's not in this case. It doesn't show any extra strength. So let's have a look at a couple more, a few extra points about negative doubles. And one time that they come up is when there's been a weak jump overcall. So, for example, a lot of you now play that if North here makes a jump bid of 2 spades over your partner's 1 diamond, that's a weak bid, showing typically a 6-card suit and something like 6 to 10 points. And in that situation, now you're going to have to bid, and your so now if you bid something, and you might be thinking about making a negative double here to show the unbid suits, in particular a 4-card heart suit. And here, even though you've only got 9 points, I think we want to make that negative double to get to say that you've got a few points and you want your partner to support your heart if they can. So this hand here, even though it's only 9 points, I think I would double, and hopefully my partner would still understand that that's a negative double, showing the unbid suits, in particular a 4-card heart suit. On the other hand, if the opponents are preempting against you, suppose again it's got 1 diamond, 3 spades, which is a preemptive bid, what are you going to bid with this hand here? What, if anything, are you going to bid? And obviously there's a difficulty here when the opponents are bidding with weak bids over you. At some point, you don't want negative doubles to still apply. And this is a situation where you probably don't want to force your partner to bid 4 hearts because you're not that strong. You've only got 9 points here. So when you play negative doubles, it's good to have an agreement at what level they apply. And I recommend that you play negative doubles over any overcall up to and including 3 diamonds. So nearly everyone who plays negative doubles will always play them at the 2 level. I recommend you extend that to overcalls up to and including 3 diamonds. But above that level, if you double, then that will be intended as a penalty double. So if we go back to that hand here, if they bid 3 spades here, if you were to double in this situation, it will be intended more as a penalty double rather than as a negative double showing 4 hearts. Now, I don't think a double here is really clear cut, because you can't really be that certain that you're going to defeat 3 spades. And you've only got, what, 9 points. Your partner's got an opening hand. So it seems like you've got the balance of points, but I'm not 100% sure I'm going to defeat 3 spades here. Nonetheless, if you did double here, that will be intended as a penalty double. And if the layout was something like this, then you would probably defeat 3 spades here. The computer actually says that on this layout, East-West can make 1 no trump, or they can make 3 or 4 hearts or 3 or 4 diamonds, whereas best defense would hold 3 spades by North to 7 tricks, and you should be able to defeat it going down 2 or possibly 1 trick if you don't find the best defense. So I'm not saying this is a clear-cut double. I think you might well decide to pass here, but a double here would not be intended as a negative double, because a 3 spade bid is above the 3 diamond limit that I would recommend. Okay. By the way, other people have different limits on where to play, how far to play negative doubles, but I think going through up to including 3 diamonds is a good choice to make. Let me know if you have any comments or questions on that. And just also wanted to look at one other situation where you can make negative doubles. So here, West opens a diamond, North bids a spade, and you don't quite have the perfect hand for a negative double, because although you've got 4 hearts, you've only got 3 clubs. Nonetheless, a negative double is a good bid to make here, and you're hoping your partner bids hearts. However, if they don't, if South, for example, bids 2 spades and West bids 3 clubs, because as far as they know, you're showing clubs as well as hearts, on this hand, I don't really have, I don't have 4 clubs, but I can go back to my partner's first suit and I would bid 3 diamonds here. So there are situations where you can make a negative double where you've got the other unbid major, but if you don't have support for the second minor, you can still bid it in a situation like this, planning to go back to diamonds if your partner now bids clubs, because he thinks you've got 4 clubs and 4 hearts. So you're much better off here, obviously going back to diamonds. Okay, that's yeah.
If it had been the other way round and your partner had bid clubs to start and you had 4 clubs and 3 diamonds, what would you do then? Right.
So you do, there are situations where it's slightly tricky. If your partner were to bid that, you would sort of have to look at your holding, and if it had gone, say, 1 club, 1 spade, double, well, if South passes, then your partner might bid 2 diamonds, and in that case you'd want to go back to 3 clubs, 3 clubs in that situation if the clubs and diamonds are the other way around. So you really have to think ahead. If you can't support the minor suit, when your partner, if you don't really have 4 cards in the minor suit as well, you have to sort of think about whether you can get away with making the double and going back to your partner's first suit if you have a fit, if you don't have a fit in the minor. So it sort of depends on the strength of your hand and how high you're going to go. But I wanted to point out that there are some situations where it'd be quite safe here to make the negative double, planning to go back to diamonds if your partner bids clubs. The other way around, you might be a bit higher, and if your partner had bid 3 diamonds, you wouldn't really want to. It would be more difficult, because if you want to go back to clubs, you'd have to bid 4 clubs, which is quite high, especially if you're fairly minimum hand. But that was a good question.
Sorry, Tony, I don't know if you mentioned it, but if there's an intervening bid like there is here, is the double called off?
Yes, I mean, in this situation, after South bids 2 spades, of course, the double is cancelled, and now West could pass. So, it's a bit like if West has nothing more to say, the double is cancelled, and now West with minimum and with no fit for you could pass. Yeah. Anyway, that ends the talk today. I'll stop sharing my screen with you all, and just ask if anyone who needs a partner, you can either join the game or you can speak up now and try and find a partner. But for the rest of you, I will see online at 2 o'clock. So bye-bye, everyone else.